So there you go. We did it. We built the treehouse. It's been 4 years in the making. It's been a lot of sometimes tears, a lot of laughter, huge amounts of hard work. But we finally built Alice's treehouse and create this wonderful, amazing area for teenagers, young adults, a place where you can hang out and meet and have fun. And really, that's all we ever wanted, was to really create extra little Alice ripples and create a wonderful, wonderful, inspiring place. And I hope that we've managed to do that. When Alice decided to graduate and become a real angel, we knew as a family that we had to do something. And because she was always passionate about building tree houses, this just seemed like such a fitting, not memorial, not a tribute, just such a fitting place. And that's what we did. We all played our part in our family. I'm a doer. I like to do things and fill my head with practical tasks, and so I sort of set my mind on building a tree house. But my brother was amazing and dealt with all of the police right at the very beginning, with all of the court cases and all sorts of things that you don't even think about when something like this happens. So he was really, really, a bit of an unsung hero in the last 4 years. My sister's sister Suzanne, she was great at helping me have bliss and looking after her when I had to go and do treehousey things, and my mum as well, and my dad, of course, doing the odd pat on the back, telling me he's proud, which is always nice. But I also want to say a massive, huge, huge thank you to my extremely, devastatingly handsome, hairy husband, who, without this, really, I don't know how I would have done it. I don't know emotionally how I would have done it. I don't know how I would have set about even raising the money. He helped with the online yard sale that we did, but he's also donated secretly, because I know what he's just kind, he's just generous, he's just loving, very, very spiritual, and he's probably going to kill me for saying any of this, because he absolutely wanted to stay in the background, because, as he's always said, this is just all about Alice. So thank you, Jeremy, because you really are special and very spiritual and so kind and generous with your time and your money and everything. So thanks. And it's funny with Jeremy, because he sort of reminds me of Alice, really. He's got a bit of an effervescence for life and sort of manages to shine a light when sometimes things seem so dark. And I love that about him and how positive he is. So thank you for helping me every day, and sometimes pulling me out of a deep hole when I felt sad with your hairy tattooed arm, and talking me through things and just being there and helping me make this happen. And of course, last but definitely not least, it's my absolutely gorgeous sister Sarah, Alice's mum, who, after everything she's been through, still somehow manages to smile and be positive and kind and give to others and share her time. And when people are obviously so emotional about Alice, because she meant so much to so many people, she manages to give them a cuddle and tell them it's all right. So I think we've all learned a few lessons along the way, and it's been a journey, and for that I'm grateful. And hopefully we can all be better people for it and be more like Alice, because if I could be 5% as kind and as loving, as generous and giving, and give as many cuddles as she ever did, then I think I'm probably doing a good job. And just to say, for anybody that ever loses anybody, you've got to remember that it will be all right. That's the one thing that I wanted somebody to say to me. It'll be all right, and it will, because you will laugh again and you will smile again and you'll find a way, because you have to. And don't forget, they're off in heaven having a great time. So be happy about that and try and find comfort with that. But anyway, I've talked far too long, and I think I'm going to try and keep this, well, I was going to try and keep it short, but I don't think I can. And of course, there's Alice that I want to say so much about. But because Alice did touch so many people, she managed to somehow connect with the absolutely amazing, spiritually inspiring, and really, I don't know, just really kind, sparkly soul of Russell Brand. She met him a few years ago, and he found out about this park, the opening, and came along. Just turned up. We didn't know that he was going to turn up. We wanted him to turn up, but we had no idea that he was. Just rocked up, and he stayed for hours, and he touched the hearts of so many of Alice's friends and our family, and he brought, which was also a gift, his gorgeous, absolutely stunningly sparkly, spirited souled girlfriend Laura, who I spent a lot of time with just talking, and just nice, kind, giving people for no other reason than why not be nice to someone and let's light up this world that we're in and share what we've got and share a bit of energy. And that's what he did. So although I'd like to give a really inspiring speech about Alice, I think I'll leave it up to this man.
Hello everyone!
Hello Russell!
Hello there, people that are taking photos and filming. I'm really happy to have been invited here to Alice's Treehouse today. I was invited via a friend of Catherine's. But I'm very happy to be here for Sarah, the mum, and for Caroline, the sister, dear Catherine here, and Daisy, who I madly adore. She's one of the best 12-year-old kickboxers I've ever met. I'm really, really happy to be asked to reopen this treehouse moments after it's already been opened once. As indicated by this. But, in a way, the point of this place was that it is a functional place for young people to come, so that what we have to commemorate Alice and her life is a positive place for young people to come together.
Yeah.
That is in part why I'm burning this stage, because I figure there's going to be a lot of herb getting burned. And Paul, the police officer, who I understand has become very close to the family, tell your colleagues to give the area a wide berth.
It's a done deal.
I suppose what's interesting is I weren't directly asked. I don't know Sarah, I don't know Caroline, I met Alice, and I'd never met Catherine before, but somehow the information that this place was being open reached me, and through friends, a friend of my girlfriend's told her, and what I suppose that is an opportunity to make a different story. For me, it's like, if I go that place, people will be happy, I figure, that I am reopening a treehouse. And what I understand people were so moved about with regard to Alice is that she was an unquestioningly loving person who cuddled people, who was open and giving. And you see how this spirit lives on in her family, and in fact was engendered and given to her by her family. And I think we're all inspired when we hear stories about that people have the courage to continue loving in their lives, particularly when people encounter sadness and tragedy, to be able to turn that into something positive like this space. That, I think, is perhaps one of the best things we can do as human beings, that things are going to happen to us, we're going to experience pain and tragedy, but as long as somehow we can come together and find something beautiful and positive, there continually is hope for us as individuals and, more collectively as a people. So for me, that is very inspiring. I also really just like tree houses. They're fun, they're joyous things. So I'm really happy to be here. I've got a few things that I want to leave here. I want to actually do. Would you hold that for us a moment, Sarah? Sure. Don't inhale. I like these things because in the sound, the pure vibration, it's a nice way of remembering that we're connected even beyond language. I like that we're in this place. This is a prayer here that helps me with my own life as a recovering drug addict and alcoholic. Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I'm going to find some nice place to hang it, because I notice people are commemorating the tree in their own individual ways. Thanks. Nothing like a smattering of applause. All at once or none at all. This God is the remover of obstacles. The obstacles sometimes I think are in my own heart. What is it that stops us being loving and open and trusting and giving? Often it's fear. And if we approach life without these obstacles, then we are connecting on the frequency of love. And perhaps this will be a place that will truly commemorate Alice, a place where people come together in a loving, trusting, giving, generous way. I'm very, very honoured to be involved with this. Give me those goddamn scissors and we'll slash this place back open. Let's go for Alice's Treehouse, for Alice's family. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.